What's up YouTube, Dow here from Zeph War Games, and today I'm going to bring you a video about Ghosts from the Past. We're going to look at the set in detail, we're going to go over all of the cards that are introduced within the set, and whether it is worth buying huge amounts, little amounts, or just not bothering at all and getting singles. So, with all of that out of the way, short, sweet, simple, smash that like button, hit that notification bell and subscribe so you do not miss out on any more videos like this to help inform you on upcoming sets. We've also got news drops that happen exactly when they do of brand new cards, and we are going to be bringing you profiles and of course combos for all of the new cards being introduced in, of course, Ghosts from the Past. So, Ghosts from the Past, let's dive straight into that. They come in mini boxes, and what we mean by mini boxes is you get 3 packs of 5 ultra rare cards in each, which technically means you're getting 15 cards, and they retail anywhere from £14 to about £16, around about $18 to $20 in the US. You can then get a display, which is 5 of those mini boxes, which is 15 packs from anywhere between £65 to £85 in the UK, rounding out around about $90. Then you'll be looking at cases, and cases are 10 of those displays, which work out at 150 packs. And you could be looking at anything from £400 to £500, around $600 mark. Now, the reason I've told you all those breakdowns is because we are interested in the ratios of ghosts per case. Not ghosts per display. I would love there to be a ghost per display, which means you would pay £600 and get 10 ghosts. Never going to happen. I really wish it was. But when you look at cases, what you're going to be looking at is you're going to be looking at the fact that within that case, which is going to be 150 packs, which is then going to be 150 times 5, whatever that is off the top of the head, which is 750 cards, I believe. That might be less. Around about 750 cards. One of those cards could, not guaranteed, could be a ghost rare. So it's very difficult to kind of dictate the rates right now, because at the moment of recording this video, we don't know. We haven't had a big enough pool of people opening up cases of Ghosts from the Past to know what people are getting on an average basis. That also being said as well, the ghost rares will differentiate in value depending on what type of ghost rare they are. Dark Magician will be the highest because it's the original artwork, it has the fan following, and of course it has legacy meaning behind it. But also what you've got to keep in mind in that is, even if Dark Magician, so for example, if you opened up 1,000 cases, you got 1,000 ghost rares because it worked out as one ghost rare case. If it was all balanced and you got exactly 200 of each ghost rare, give or take 1 or 2, then it would be a balanced market. But if you were getting, let's say, 200 BLS, 200 Firewall, 300 Blue Eyes, 300 Crystal Wings, 200 Crystal Wings, and then 100 Dark Magician, the Dark Magician is obviously going to be harder to get, which then would dictate the price to go even higher. So until we have that information, we're not going to be able to actually dictate the prices of Ghosts from the Past ghost rares. I would like to think that it's going to work out on the same brackets as Ra. Ra came out at about £300, started to drop down. You can pick up a first edition for about 200 quid right now. So it really depends on the market, how many people. I mean, we all know, unlike the Ra set, this set actually sold out way before official release. So keep in mind that the maximum amount of production value for the first editions has already been reached, which means there's going to be a lot in circulation. It will all come down to how many ghosts are being pulled a case. On average, you could get a ghost rare. You could get a case which has no ghost rares and a case that gets 2 ghost rares. It will still then balance out that out of those 2 cases, it's 1 ghost rare a case. So I think that's the average what we're going to be looking at, which could then dictate the price of ghost rares being from £200 to maybe £400. I would like to hope that Dark Magician would start to slow down a little bit and not go anywhere further. If you look at pre-orders online right now, you can see BLS ghost rares for about £600. You can see Crystal Wings for about £200. You can see Firewalls for about £200 to £250. And you can also see about Blue Eyes Alternatives being about £200 to £300 as well. They will all fluctuate and change. Of course, there are no Dark Magicians online as of yet. These are all pre-release ones that we haven't even seen the actual openings for as of yet. So it will then dictate on where they're going to go. That's it for the Ghost Rares. They are the chase cards. Now let's look at the other cards that are introduced into this set. So this set brings us Selection 10, which is what the OCG had, which was 10 art types, either being brand new or minor support cards for stuff like Galaxies, Time Thieves, Sun Avalons, Lavarvals, Shadows, Starry Nights as well. Plus, we also get the Dragoonity structure deck alongside Hieratic support as well. With the Dragoonity structure deck, this is where I feel sorry for the guys out there that are actually Dragoonity players and wanted the Dragoonity structure deck. Because the thing with a set like this, when it's 137 cards, 5 cards per pack, and all ultra rare, yes, you're going to get higher rarity cards, but it's going to be even harder to get the cards that you actually want. Whereas with a structure deck, not only would you get reprints, but you'd also get exact cards you needed to kind of put together to make a structure deck or to make a competitive playable deck. By only spending probably, what, about £22 maybe? Whereas with this, the difficulty then becomes that you can't buy Ghosts from the Past and get... You couldn't buy 3 Ghosts from the Past sets and guarantee to get a Dragoonity deck. You could, on the other hand, go online to try and buy the Dragoonity singles, but that then comes down to what the pre-order prices are. Looking at the pre-order prices on eBay, some of the cards are about £1 each, which is great. But even then, when you're still trying to build a competitive £40 Dragoonity deck, if all of the cards were £1, you're still going to be paying £40, which is going to be £15 to maybe £20 above what you would have done for free structure decks anyway. When you also look at the pre-orders as well, Dragoonity Remus, which is the core card for the deck, is actually sitting around £20 to £25 a copy, which is bonkers for a card that I would expect to be seen a lot more. So for the Dragoonities, this is where it gets very, very difficult. I think the majority of the cases and boxes, because they had all pre-sold out, the only reason you would be buying anything is if you were trying to dig for a Ghost Rare. I don't think you could guarantee to get a Dragoonity deck or all of the cards you needed from a display, being very, very difficult considering that you get in 15 packs. Each of those packs contains 5 cards, which would be 15 times 5, which is 175 cards. So out of those 75 cards, 137 card set, and you need stuff at 3, it's going to be very, very difficult to get a full competitive deck of what you needed if you were looking at Dragoonities or if you were looking at Sun Avalons. So that's where it's then difficult to say, well, do I spend £85 on the display, or do I go and spend £60 and just get all of the stuff in singles? So that's a very, very big dilemma. I think from the point of view from Konami is, technically it really doesn't matter too much. Like, if they've sold out all of the first edition pre-orders, they've got no more product to sell. So they've already made their maximum amount of money. The only people that are now in an area to try and make money back is those that are vendors or those that are local stores that are trying to sell. Now, obviously, it's a little bit more difficult for your local stores because then, unless they're the type that are going to crack open and sell the singles, they're actually going to be reliant on you buying the product itself. Ultimately, when it does come down to stuff like that, buying the product is not a bad thing. Do not get me wrong whatsoever. What I'm trying to say is, depending on what you're looking for, will then dictate on how much of the product you will then end up buying. For example, if you only want the selection 10 cards and you just want to open up some of the packs anyway, then you probably buy maybe 1 or 2 of the mini boxes and then buy the singles of the cards because you only need to buy 1 or 2 singles. If you pull the cards within the boxes, great. If you're looking for stuff like reprinted evenly matched, which again we still don't know the exact ratios for, they're only £13 online. So it's like, do I buy a box that may or may not have a 1 in 137 cards from 15 cards, or do I just buy it for £13 anyway? In that scenario, again, I would still go and buy a playset of evenly matched, but I would first go and buy 1 or 2 boxes from my local, supporting my local system, and then see what I pull. If you end up pulling a evenly matched in there, great, it means you've only got to buy 2 off of line. If you pull a Ghost Rare and you don't want it, you sell it. If you pull a Ghost Rare and want it, massive bonus, because you've only spent 26 to 28 to maybe even £32 and pulled a £200 card like that. If you pull a Dark Magician, happy days, you can go rolling around in money as much as you want. So it's very difficult on that one. Speaking of Selection 10, Selection 10 get 1 brand new card for Vampires, 2 brand new cards for Time Thieves, as well as all of the Time Thieves getting a rarity bump, except Redoer, all go into Ultra Rare. Redoer goes to an Ultra Rare in this set, but we've had him as a Prismatic Secret, so... but then you also look at the 2 brand new Shadow cards. You've got the Fire and the Earth. One of them lets you flip and banish a card, which is really cool, and the other one, I believe, is a Foolish Burial. You then look at the brand new Galaxy card, which gets 1 new XYZ. You've got the Hot Red Nova Dragon, which is a 1 card addition, alongside the new Resonator Cool, and an upgrade of Resonator Cool and a new Resonator Spell. You then also look at the brand new Shooting Star TG Dragon. This is again a great new support for Synchro decks, but it's also a very good support for TGs, as it is a new TG Synchro, technically. Again, it's only 1 card, and they're only going for like £3 to £4 at the moment on pre-orders. So again, unless you're like, right, I only want 1 card. I'm a TG player, I only want 1 card. I don't care about the rest of this set. I don't even care if I pull a Ghost. Go buy the single for £1 online. But if you're a person like this, and you're right, okay, I want the Hot Red, I want the TG, I'm looking for free evenly matches, I'm also interested in all the Time Thief cards, then I would say go and buy a box. Whatever you pull is then stuff that you don't have to pre-order, plus you get the joy of opening the box, and if you then get a ghost, even better. It then comes down to the line between wanting to open up boxes and packs for the general fun of it, and specifically looking for cards. Because what you don't want to do is you don't want to go, right, I really want to build Starry Nights, I don't want to buy singles, I want to pull it all from a deck. I'm sorry, that's not going to happen unless you spend way over the price. It then gets to that borderline where you weigh it up of how much am I going to spend to try and pull it, how much am I going to spend to try and buy it as singles. That's the real difficult part with this, and that is where the breaking point really comes into it. Is because a lot of vendors are going to be cracking this stuff open for the ghosts, they're going to keep the ghosts, put them to one side, get ready to sell them for big money to then make the case money back. Everything else that can then be sold for £1 here and there will then give them profit. So that's where it's going to be very, very difficult, and that very fine line between buying and not. So it also depends on the local environment. If your local environment has a local shop, I highly, highly, highly advise you go to that local shop and you purchase at least one product. Keep in mind as well, if you purchase from your local stores and you do spend £30, which would be 2 of the Ghost from the Past mini boxes, you do also get a Lost Art promo as well. So you get another nice added bonus. So this is where it kind of boils down to, would I buy Ghosts from the Past? Yes, for me personally, I am looking for a lot. I would really like to build Starry Nights. Sun Avalons I'm not too interested in, but I know Joe is, so I can then trade my Sun Avalon stuff for the Starry Night stuff, and it's all complete. I'm also interested in some of the one-off cards. I'm interested in the Stardust TG, the Red Nova Archfiend. I'm also looking for the Time Thief cards, Shadol cards, everything like that that you should be seeing in abundance of, plus I love opening up packs. I'm definitely going to be going in for Ghost of the Past. I'm also after Ghost Rares, so the way I kind of saw it was, one case does me. That's it. If I get a Ghost, great. Well, I hope I get a Ghost. Hope I get a Ghost, great, amazing. But by that case load, I should already have all of the singles that I need. That's the type of level that you're looking at. If I'm going to go support my locals, when I go down to my locals at the weekend, of course I'm going to go and buy a single of Ghost from the Past, because not only am I supporting the local store, I could also be getting another Ghost from a random case. The chances are very minimal, but it can happen. So then that's where it comes down to. If you want to build loads from this set and you can afford to get a case worth, or you pre-ordered a case worth, great. You're going to end up hopefully with a Ghost, with everything you need for Starry Nights, with everything you need for Sun Avalons, and then everything you need for Time Thieves, Shadows, Vampires, you name it, plus the new Necros card. If you're like, I only really want 1 or 2 cards, again, don't buy a case worth, go and buy the little display boxes, get 3 packs out of that, or an actual display of 5 of those mini boxes, pull what you need, whatever you don't get, go and buy the singles of. Wham, bam, thank you, ma'am. Not only have you supported your locals, not only have you gone out and physically bought the product as well, but you also then have the ability of buying singles without expending extravagant amounts of money and actually feeling your wallet go, ow. Now, if you want all 5 Ghost Rares, that's when your wallet's going to go, ow. Probably a little bit more dramatic than that, because hot damn, they're going to be expensive. But I'm hoping that once the ratios are dropping, that again they will settle down at around £200 per card, maybe a little bit less, maybe a little bit more, depending on what you're looking at and who you're trying to get. But I hope this video has been informative for you. I hope it's given you a breakdown of my personal opinions towards the set. Overall, just summarising, yes, I would go, depending on the amount you want, I would go and buy some single boxes, but I would also go and buy a case worth if you have the chance to as well. The one note that I will say is be very careful on where you are purchasing from. If you are purchasing from your local stores expecting to get a Ghost Rare, that is a safer place. If you are trying to buy them online and a vendor is saying to you, oh yeah, I've got 8 cases, I've got 8 displays left out of a case, be very careful, because the chances are they could have opened up the box, they could have called the Ghost Rare, and then even though it's like a 1 in 137 chance, if they've already pulled the Ghost Rare, you're then looking at a 0 in 137 chance. So it's very, very difficult to dictate that. So what I'm trying to say is always go with a trusted seller. A trusted seller always will be better, and you never know. You want to make sure that you're always going to have maximum chance as possible to pull all of the valuable cards, because even if you don't want them, that is still enough money in the bank account, especially if you're for like a local player that only has £15 a week or has whatever he needs a week, goes and buys a product. You want to make sure that your chances of pulling the money card is always at maximum, whether you want it or not, because then a single high value card can then turn into a high value competitive deck or high value staples for cards that you might have been missing for a long, long time. Anyway, Hope this has helped. Hope this has given you a nice breakdown of Ghosts from the Past. Definitely go out and buy some from your local stores. Definitely open up some of the packs, because there is nothing better than the feeling of pulling a Ghost Rare in 2021. But with all of that out of the way, thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, share. Stay tuned, because on Thursday morning we will be bringing you a case opening for Ghosts from the Past, and let's see how lucky we can get. With all that out of the way, as absolutely always, guys, stay safe and happy dueling.